Hello Internet, and welcome to this tutorial series on Shopify Hydrogen SEO. And the goal of this particular video is to look at search parameters. What are they and how can they be done properly on our Hydrogen storefront? Well, search parameters are anything after the question mark in a URL, okay? And it's a good time, I suppose, to remind you guys that from Google point of view and other search engine point of view, okay, a page like this, all right, each of this page for each of the variants, okay, when the search parameter changes, this is seen by search engine as a different web page, okay? So they are indexed separately as a completely different page, okay? So it's therefore very important to tell search engines which parameters are important for search optimizations and which ones are not. For example, in the case, if you remember when we looked at the robots.txt file, okay, remember that for the collections page, for instance, if we had, let's suppose we had a search filter, a sorting filter here to sort products from a collection, okay, let's suppose we had a sorting filter here, okay, then if we didn't add this, okay, if we didn't add this sort by, okay, then from Google's point of view, whenever the sort order will change, that will be considered a different page, even though the content in the page itself is more or less the same most of the time, okay? So that's why you don't want the sort by, in the particular case of the collections page, to be ever indexed, all right, to be ever like considered when doing the crawling of your website, okay? So any page that contains / collections and then sort by in it will be ignored by search engines. So that's one of the things that you do in terms of in order to handle your search parameters properly. But why do we do that in the first place? It's because of the concept of the crawling budget, okay? I will add the link to this. This is again Google. We're not reading this from a guru online or anything. We're going straight to the source, which is a Google website, Google owns website. So there's a concept of the crawling budget, and I'll add the link to in the description. But basically, in a nutshell, what that means is that Google allocates a particular amount of time and resources on each website it visits. So the moment you start having search parameters on your website, okay, this can create an infinite amount of pages because the user can search by anything, okay? And if you're indexing all of these things, like if you're indexing everything basically, so if you index for women, for men, and every search, right, that can create an infinite amount of pages on your website. And if all of these pages are being crawled and indexed by the search engine, that can pose a problem, because if Google, let's say Google says, just to put a number on it, Google says for this particular website we're going to index 500 pages, right? Then if your crawling budget is wasted indexing these kinds of pages, then what becomes of your actual interesting pages, right? Like the real pages that you actually want to run for. So you don't want to be wasting your crawling budget on search parameters generated pages, right? But you want to make sure that if you do index those kinds of pages, they are relevant ones, and if they are not, you definitely want to disallow them in the robots.txt. So that's one of the reasons. And again, if you read Google's own recommendation here for they have a specific guide for e-commerce business owners, and they add a specific paragraph here to say avoid indexing URLs with filters or alternative sort orders. They say you may choose to support filters or different sort orders for long lists of results on your site. For example, you may add sort, you may support order equal price on URLs to return the same list of results by price, okay? That is if you want to do that. But then if you want to avoid indexing variations of the same list of results, block unwanted URLs from being indexed with no index robots meta tag, or discourage crawling of particular URLs while with the robots.txt file. So this second technique here is exactly what the Shopify CLI did for us automatically. We didn't create this ourselves, okay? This was created for us by the Shopify CLI, which obviously the first Shopify implemented the code for that. So this is what Google is saying here. Discourage crawling of a particular URL pattern with the robots.txt is exactly what's taking place here, okay? Another thing to know, I'm going to show you an example on how to do this, and we're going to do the same for the particular case of the product page, okay? So we're going to, just for the sake of argument, suppose that we didn't want to index the size, okay? And we just wanted to index the color, because at the moment, if we go back to the robot.txt file, we can see that pretty much every variant is indexed, okay? We don't have any rule here to disallow a particular variant or a particular search filter when it comes to the products page, whereas we do for the collection page. So we are going to add, let's suppose for the sake of argument, the size as a filter, as a search option, was not something that we wanted to ever be relevant for search engine optimization, okay? Then how can we add that to, how can we tell that to Google and other search engines? Well, it's very simple. The same way we did for the collections, we are disallowing collections somewhere here. We are going to do exactly the same for the products pages. So let's see here, generate disallow rules and so on. So we have a bunch of rules here for the collection. So let's add one for the products page. So we're going to add here products. And what is that URL like? Is size capital, okay? This is now the robots.txt that's going to be generated now. It's going to take into account that particular, that it's going to disallow any request that has the size in it, okay? That's how you do that. But another thing I want to mention on these search parameters, just to finish, is that Google has some recommendations on how you want to design those search parameters. So in order for your site to be properly indexed and crawled. So the first thing is that you never want to be in a situation where you just have the question mark and then the value, okay? You always want to know, to tell the search engine that you always want to have a key value pair, key equal value, not just the value, okay? But obviously if you're using Shopify Hydrogen, which obviously uses remix underneath, you're never gonna have these kind of scenarios unless you really try hard, okay? Similarly, if you have, let's say, two values that must be applied to a particular key, you don't want this scenario to ever happen. You don't want type equal candy and then type equal candy again. You want both to be consolidated in the same value, okay? And again, if you're using remix, if you're using Shopify Hydrogen, which uses remix, this will never happen unless you really try hard, okay? And finally, this is just a common sense one. You don't want to search by location equal nearby, because this is not really, this is different. The nearby is different for every visitor, okay? Based on where they are in the world, right? So you want to have a specific location like UK, USA, New York, London, Paris, Lagos, and stuff like that. So these are good practices to implement in your Shopify Hydrogen storefront. And I hope you found this useful. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. If you need any help with anything related to Shopify Plus, Shopify Hydrogen, visit our website on liftedcommerce.com and send us a message. I will be very happy to help. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.